So if you guys are not aware, Persona 5 The Phantom X is a new gacha game that just recently released, and it is available on Steam, but apparently the game is getting review bombed. Now, Persona 5 and Persona games in general are some of the most beloved games, obviously, and they have a huge following, huge fan base. But this particular game, being a gacha game, obviously is going to have some opinions. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what is the reason why it is getting review bombed? Well, whatever that reason may be, you're probably wrong, unless you're playing the game and you're currently experiencing what's going on right now. People are not happy with Persona 5, The Phantom X, claiming that rewards for global players are not as good as the ones offered on Chinese servers. Like most gacha games, Persona 5, The Phantom X is filled with ways to get more currency to spend in-game without using real-life cash. But it seems the developer may have dropped the ball with Western players. So basically, this particular gacha game seems to be overly favoring Chinese players versus Western players. Now, me personally, I don't play gacha games. I just don't want to ever get into that rabbit hole of gacha games. But I always hear complaints about all kinds of things related to gacha games, especially when it comes to like monetization and whatnot. They're obviously called gacha games for a reason. But released in China and South Korea in 2024, Persona 5, The Phantom X only became available globally on June 26. Since its release, Persona 5, The Phantom X has been a huge hit, and the free-to-play gacha game even toppled Persona 5 Royal's peaks player count on Steam. However, it seems that not all gamers are pleased with the new title. As spotted by PC Gamer, Persona 5 The Phantom X is being review bombed, with the game currently boasting mixed reviews on Steam, with only 49% of all players recommending it. The situation is even worse on the Google Play Store, where the RPG stands at only 2.1 out of 5 stars. The main reason for the review bombing is that gamers believe that global players are getting much worse rewards when compared to the Chinese version of the game, with some reviewers complaining that they are being treated like second-hand citizens, which I find so much irony in a Western player complaining about being treated as a second-hand citizen when we all know where most of our products come from in China. But, you know, that's neither here nor there anyway. Complaining about being treated like second-hand citizens and vowing not to spend any money on the game until the rewards are equal. Now, I've spoken to some people regarding gacha games because, again, I'm not a super expert in these games. But from my understanding, this is fairly normal for some of the gacha games. I don't know if you could say all of the gacha games, but this is fairly normal for some of them. But it seems like for Persona fans, they don't agree with that, and they seem to be highly upset over this. I even have Steam forums that we're going to go over in a minute, which, by the way, look at this. This is always in every single thread. Whenever I'm looking at Steam forums and it's a game that's dealing with controversy, there is always a thread talking about, please add LGBTQ representation to the game. It would be amazing, right? And these are the bait threads. These are the threads that are simply meant to farm community points. That's all it is. So don't fall for that. If you're watching this video, never fall for these threads. Never give them Steam points. Don't give them clown emojis. Don't give them nothing, because that's what they want. They want points. But in any case, we actually have a post here that is talking about this nonsense. And it says, please consider making your voice heard and voice your opinion on the official survey. Let's see what we got. This is from somebody called Black Lamb Rock Enjoyer. He says, not going to sugarcoat it. It's a crack shot, but it's one of the only recourse that players have. Keep in mind, Chinese communities frequently let their gacha corporations know they aren't happy, and things do improve if we just let them know. The following is what Global is suffering through right now. It says, point A, accelerated content patches with zero compensation. Point B, worse pricing for beginner packs in the cash shop. Point C, Chinese servers receiving 10 limited character pulls in the 7-day login event. Meanwhile, Global only receiving 7 weapon pulls. Point D, reduced rewards compared to China. Global receiving 3 times less jewels on new patch, no codes to redeem, and worse event rewards. Code E, character pulls, and even in the exchange shop was replaced with jewels and tickets. Point F, controller support is extremely bad and needs work on ASAP. Not sure how it is in other servers, but especially for mobile, it's needed. Point G, limited units not being put into standard banner after limited banner ends for an unspecified amount of time. Point H, horrendous translation job, which, to be fair, the translation jobs usually for these games are usually not, I wouldn't say spot on most of the time. There usually is some errors, especially in the beginning, and then they claim they'll fix them later for whatever that reason may be. So, not going to say this is particular to just this game, but it is a problem. Still many errors and really vague descriptions and tutorials, which can screw over players in their choices, and just immersion breaking when reading the story completely. Again, keep in mind, China frequently keeps their gacha corporations in check, and change actually does happen. At the very least, they should match the rewards they gave to China and give compensation for accelerated content, improve soft pity and clarification. Like China, the communication has been horrible for global. Codes given just like China. We still haven't gotten any codes when China has got them way earlier. Dual compensation, just as China receives when they stand up for themselves and get backlash. Reverting character pools being replaced with jewels and tickets in the exchange shop. Marian's dupe needs to be re-added to Luffy's business plan, like China. Nothing too crazy, I'd say. Now, again, this all sounds pretty insane because that is a pretty vast difference, I got to imagine, for gacha players. But as can be seen in the document created by a fan, the rewards for the gacha systems in Persona 5, the Phantom X, are indeed not equal at all. Some unpopular differences include the fact that global players get only 100 gems for maintenance downtime, but Chinese players get 300. So they get 200 more compared to global players. Some redemption codes were already offered to Chinese players, while none have been made globally yet. It's hard to tell why the developers of Persona 5, the Phantom X, implemented these changes, but it could be linked to the pace of how quickly content is released globally. Maybe. But see, this is why I don't mess with gacha games, me personally. I can't, because I can already see the stress from a mile away. I can see the stress from literally a mile away. I feel like with gacha games, I'm sure they're a lot of fun. I'm sure their combat can be fun. I'm sure their gameplay can be fun. I'm sure all of it can be fun. But goddamn, does it sound stressful as hell just reading all of this? And I'm like, seriously, you got to keep track of all this, and now you're getting, 1/3 of what the Chinese players are getting, and they want you to be okay with it. I don't know. It just sounds really, really stressful to me. It really does. The gacha stuff just doesn't seem very appealing to me. But I get it. It's huge in China, and it has a huge following here. Not as big as China, but still, it's a huge, huge thing. I get it. I totally understand. Let people play what they want to play. It's fine. But this is just one of those situations where I'm just like, dude, I'm good. But Persona 5's The Phantom X's update 1.1 was released for players in the West on July 10th. It remains to be seen how these complaints will be addressed, though, and if Persona 5 The Phantom X will continue to be popular going forward. Now, if you go to Persona 5 Phantom X, we're going to look at some of the numbers and see what is going on here. Let's check out the numbers on SteamDB. So right now, we go to the charts. It started 18 days ago at 41,622 all-time peak. Keep in mind, this is a free-to-play game, okay? And within just a few days, it dropped down to 13,575 24-hour peak, with 10,241 people playing the game right now at the time of filming this particular video, with an estimated players of anywhere between 200,000 to 830,000, which is pretty high up there considering the game. But it's very clear that the game is dropping off and dropping off fast, so they need to do something and figure it out in order to get people interested to play the game. Otherwise, you might have yourself a dead game on your hands within a month or two, which is not going to be bad, right? You could obviously still monetize this, and you can make money on this, especially if you have whales. If you have whales within this particular group, I'm sure you got plenty of money to be made here. But they can always have more, right? This is a much nicer number. This is way nicer of a number. This one, not so much. They need to get back to here somehow, some way. But I guess we'll see. Not bad for a gacha game, though. So, in any case, you let me know in the comments down below. I really want to hear from you if you are a player of this particular game. And let me know what you think. If you are a global player, do you feel like you're getting screwed by the developers, Atlas? Or do you feel like everything is fair and you're used to this and this is just how gacha games are? Whatever that may be, leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. And if you enjoy this video, consider hitting that like. And I'll see you guys on the next one.